Today is not that day.
Live.
Yeah, live. Live.
Are you ready? Because I'm not.
Nope. Can you even hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay, good. Well, that makes one of us.
I actually can hear you better than I did last week.
Well, look at that. Hey, how you doing, Nick?
Good. Hey,
we have no viewers. All right. Nobody can tell us if they can hear us. This may be one of those episodes where we just forego. Oh, wait, there's one. All right, so we have at least one. Is it Mark Arnie?
I don't know.
I don't know either. What the hell? I don't know. Do you know?
I don't. I can't see all the same. I can't even see all the same stuff you see.
All I see is one.
Just one.
Oh, it's Conchetta. Hi! I love her. She's awesome.
I'm going to try and figure out how to share this stream on the Rock City page because everybody keeps asking about it, and then every time I share, I can't figure out how to do it.
Yeah, it's really, you know why? Because Facebook's a dick, which is why I tell everybody to come here. Because StreamYard, which is what, for the one person that's what, the two people that are watching right now, for those of you that are watching right now, the reason why I always say come over to YouTube is because Facebook stops progress. Like, this used to be automatically posted on my page and the Cover to Covered page, and all Nick had to do was share it. And it was great, and it was awesome. Great. That all changed. Now I can't do that. Now whenever we put something up, it creates an event instead, because Facebook doesn't allow the live broadcast from something outside of whatever it is that they do until unless there's an event around it, and then this is broadcast within the event. All right. Oh, Rock City Music Company shared the video. All right, well, that's what it said here. I just got a notification, so that's good. We like that. But yeah, man. And no, I have not figured out TikTok yet. To answer your question, this was the question. Have you guys figured out TikTok yet? No, I know that there's a tick, and then there's a talk.
There's a talk, yeah.
Followed soon after.
Some of this would lend itself to TikTok, I think.
It would, and once I figure that out, look, I have a whole plan. I got like 2 weeks off at the holidays while you go crazy.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have a dog, I would come work in your store.
That would be great.
I would. The
offer is on the table whenever you're ready.
Oh, great. The offer for me to work for free for you is on the table for me.
I'm sure it would not be for free.
Oh, hell yeah.
You're going to fly from San Diego to Detroit for free?
No, but I mean, you haven't offered me money. So there's that. You know.
You don't want my offer.
Oh, yeah. Your offer is like a cup of coffee and a punch in the mouth. Like, great. That'll be the most awesome payment I've ever gotten.
It's a little bit better than that.
Well, you know, Nick, I understand if you pay everybody as an independent contractor, you won't need to pay their taxes or their insurance. This is how KISS got rich. We barely paid our crew. We paid them in vagina.
No, they probably paid him in KISS merchandise.
Well, that too. Everybody got the KISS masks so they could look like us all day long. Yeah, that's you know, whatever. But you know what? I'm just going to roll the intro because nobody's coming in. So we're just going to roll it because why not? It's totally sloppy. But hey.
Right. Well, what about
Cover to Covered is a podcast that features two idiots talking about music at length, and occasionally a dog does make an appearance. There will also be special guests from time to time that will show up, and they will be smarter than the hosts. And the hosts will give their opinions. By the way, they are exactly that. Opinions. They're not truths, they are not fallacies, and they do not reflect the views or opinions of their employers or those they employ. So, with that, just enjoy the damn show.
say I hate this whole thing. I hate this whole thing. I really, really do. I hate Facebook, and it just sucks donkey dick.
What'd you do now?
I'm just trying to share my own posts, and I can't do it. Like, it's just, this is so asinine. Like, oh,
And Mark
hate
Zuckerberg,
everybody.
I know you're watching, so Mike apologizes.
like, and then this is like, all right, I'm trying to share it. Well, share to your story, to your friends. Okay. And then something went wrong. We're working on getting it fixed as soon as we can. You know what it is? It's because you don't want people to know about us.
Not without paying.
Not without paying. Look at Roger. Roger's just chilling in the background with his toy.
He
He's
also
like, yeah,
hates
what's up?
Facebook.
He does hate Facebook. That's why he doesn't have a page there. He's just like, no, I'm going to go to Parlor where he can say whatever he wants with nobody checking anything, and no matter how true or not it is. But, you know, that's not, Parlor's a way worse alternative than Facebook. I will say that much. But with that said, we speak the truth here on Cover to Covered. And my name is Mick. My name is Mick, and that is Nike, or Nike, as he likes to be known. My name is Mike. That is Nick. Nick, what store do you own?
Rock City Music Company.
That's great. And where are you located?
Livonia, Michigan, 5 Mile in Farmington, or find us online at rockcitymusicco.com.
Well, you answered my next question, which is where can we find you? But, you know, thanks.
You said where can we find you? Didn't you? No, you said
So where are you located? And then it's always where can we find you? And now you killed it.
Well, I've done
But
this a
okay.
few times, you know.
Yeah, you have, and so have I. Let's see. Where is the crazy lady? The crazy lady is not around anymore, Sean. I'm thankful for that. She has been blocked from every single one of my social media and my phone, and I had to change my locks. Put it that way.
Wow.
Yeah. That was my old dog sitter who went Meshuggah. Not the band, because that would have been cool.
She went very gent.
Oh my God. She didn't go, she went jazz gent, like things that shouldn't happen.
She went fret guitar gent.
She went microtonal mandolin crazy. So yeah, that's what happened. Anyway, Michael McCutcheon says, I heard Twitter is happening, you know. So yeah, we're not going there either. Cause what are we going to tweet? And then Elon Musk is going to be like, no, and I'm going to go, all right. And that's it. So, all right, where are we? We are here today to talk to you about different things. First off, Nick, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you. That's
And
tomorrow, by the way, though.
I know, but I'm not going to be near you or on the air. Neither are you. You're going to be eating turkey. Well, no, maybe not. But I will be eating turkey. You'll be eating some tofurkey or faux turkey or whatever. Turkey on a stick that's made from bean sprouts or some shit like that. What do you eat on Thanksgiving?
I've been going back and forth, to be honest with you, on the how strict of a vegan I'm being lately. But usually they do make a turkey substitute that's actually really good, and you can eat most of the sides, you know, mashed potatoes and such. I don't know what I'm having though. Actually, I'm going to some family's house tomorrow, and I'm actually not sure what's on the menu.
You don't know what family you're going to?
No, I'm going I know what family I'm going to. I don't know what I'll be eating.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, I hope it's lovely and joyous. I get on a plane at 6:45, fly to New York, get off the plane at 3. I'll be at my mother's house by about 4:30 or so. Eat dinner. Yay. Get to spend, Turkey Day with Mom.
Yes.
Always good. Then go to bed, get up, fly to Pittsburgh, and start working.
Yep,
Like
you're
immediately.
on fire. You're on fire.
No, I'm not. I'm like, my fire's burning out. I'm actually getting a little crispy, man. Like, all this travel
You've
is...
done a lot of traveling, especially coming off. A lot of people don't realize, a guy in your position was not traveling for almost 2 years.
Yeah,
So,
and I used to travel all the time. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but I didn't even travel this often,
Right.
like as I'm doing now. Even when I was traveling on the regular. So, yeah, it's a lot. But you know what? We gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta make
Yes.
sure that all the donuts are being made. So, I want to be able to buy Christmas gifts. So
and people like me, even though we don't work together on the professional side of things, are very grateful for the people that put in the amount of effort that you do.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Now buy me something nice for Christmas.
I still owe you that R9.
You know what? I'll forego that. And I would have foregone that if I got Kiss the Originals. But no, you were like, no, I'm not going to give you that shit. So I went on and got my own thing. Speaking of, guess what came in the mail today?
What?
Couple of things. So first off, I got to show this one. This one was pretty cool. This one came all the way from the Britons. This is a Rush Prime Mover 12-inch. But it's actually a limited edition. You can't really tell on camera, but this is actually foil. You can probably tell a little bit.
You can tell a little bit. It's reflective.
Yeah. So it's like it's not lenticular, but it's foil and it's really, really cool. So that came in the mail today, along with another copy of. I wound up getting another copy of Wrathchild America's Climbing the Walls.
Sweet. One of your favorites.
Oh yeah. And I'm hoping to get Brad on the show here soon. I was going to do it on my birthday. I was going to ask him to come, but he's got some JBL thing he's got to do, I saw, so I didn't even ask.
I'm sure that's more important than this.
Well, yeah, because that makes him money. This would make him mad. That's all.
But speaking of which, I want to give, while you're getting something else ready to show, shout out to our cover-to-cover alumni in Fuzz Bubble. The crowds that they played to over the weekend looked amazing. I was very happy to see that.
They killed. They did great. They played at the Paramount in Huntington, Long Island, in front of a few thousand people. They played another show the day before, kind of like their warm-up show for that one. They were direct support for Zebra, which is kind of funny until you realize that Zebra draws like 4,000 or 5,000 people in Long Island, So yeah, they killed it. And I saw some of the videos from it, and they performed great. I mean, they sounded absolutely incredible. So Jim, Mark, Jay, you guys, love y'all, and you guys absolutely killed it. And then, of course, they got back and they all had COVID.
All of them?
Jim and Jay did. I don't know about Mark, but Jim and Jay did for sure.
Oh, that's terrible. Hopefully they're feeling all right.
They are. I checked in with Jay. He's doing all right. And Jim's sitting on the couch with his wife, who also had COVID, and their dog. So no Thanksgiving for them, except for the fact that they can cook for each other, which is always a plus.
There you go. So. He was posting some amazing stuff of New York cuisine when he was there. I was loving it.
Oh, it's the pizza and the bagels, man. I mean, that's all you need.
Yes.
That's all you need. Everything, green salads? What? No. All right. So in the mail today, I got Roll the Bones reissue, new in plastic. New in whatever this is.
New old stock.
New old stock. I also got Counterparts. Sealed. New old stock.
Reissues. We should clarify that those are the
these are the
2015 reissues.
But this isn't. This is the only one of this. Test for Echo. Sealed.
You're on fire with the sealed Rush reissues. And Snakes and Arrows.
Sealed. Pretty stoked about that.
Incredible.
Because now I have every single Rush studio album on vinyl. I'm done.
Until you're not.
Well, now I just got to hunt down the original Moon, OG original, self-titled debut. Then I'll be all right.
Yes.
But then I'll definitely be done, because that'll be like $2,500. That's another one of those grails in the spirit of.
Does that really pull that kind of money? I mean, I'm not surprised, but
they only made, I think, 3,000 copies of that.
Oh wow,
that's it. And it's different than what everybody else saw, because when they put it out as the mass produced, the logo was pink, and the original's red.
There you go.
So when they did that, what do they call that? Rediscovered or whatever they did. I think the box set. They printed that it was red. They printed that in red. So they printed it as if it was the actual original. Honestly, I would probably take that. I would just be happy with that box.
Is that out of print now too? Is that hard to get?
That's out of print. Yeah.
Oh, I've got a sealed one of those.
Well, you could seal it in another box and send it to me, and I'll find a way to come work in your store for a couple of days.
There we go.
Yeah, Patty's like, yeah, I'm done until a new one comes out. But there is no more. Like, there's no more Rush studio albums. There's nothing. So I don't even think they're going to do any more of the box sets like they did, up until and including Moving Pictures. I can't see them doing.
I think they'll do Signals because it's still a popular record and it still has Rush classics on it. I think they could do Signals. Past that, you're probably right.
Well, we're going to talk about that in part 2 of our retrospective of Rush in reverse. We'll probably do that in a couple of weeks, but not on December 7th. Couple of notes. We are off next week. We are not going to be here. I will be on the road. Nick will be going crazy. December 7th, we are back, and it's going to be my 50th birthday that day. So it's going to be a 50th birthday celebration, which means nothing different really from what we're doing here, except I'll just be older and hoping to have some special guests come on in. What's that?
And it'll show that you're older.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want to hear it. So, I look better at 50 than you look at 31. So I don't want to hear it.
Except for I'm not 31.
No, you're 30.
No, I'm
32.
32.
Oh, yeah. Well, all right. When you were 31?
When I met you, you were 39. So.
No. Yes, I was. Yeah, we went through that. Through that. All right, cool. So with all that said, December 7th we'll be back, and then December 14th, and then maybe December 21st, maybe. And the reason why I say maybe is because I'm sure you're going to be going crazy by that point in retail. So we're going to put an asterisk on that one and say maybe December 21st, and then we'll probably go dark until the new year. So, but anyway, with all that said, what are you listening to, my man?
I'm still on Butch Walker Glenn, which I think at this point I've decided is the best record that came out this year. The vinyl doesn't come out until January, but the record is just, I refer to everything as the record, even if I'm streaming it, is just phenomenal. I think that's great. I've also been loving the Steely Dan UHQR that I talked about last week.
Yep.
And I also got the Bob Marley UHQR for Rastaman Vibration. And
Rastaman Vibration.
Yes. And if you can believe it, that record, which is mastered at 33, not 45 like the Steely Dan, it actually may sound better than the Steely Dan, which is pretty insane.
Wow.
Yes.
All right, that's a statement.
The bass is so clear and tight. The drums, it's like they're sitting right in front of you. It's really something incredible. I picked that record up. I'm the kind of a middle of the road Bob Marley fan, but those UHQRs sound so good. I'm like, well, this will be good. And they did a super limited run of only 3,000 of those. So I thought, well, if I don't like it or whatever, I'm sure somebody will be happy to take it off my hands. Not at an exorbitant price. I'd be happy to sell it to somebody what I paid for it. But I put it on and it was like mind-blowing good.
So now sell it for more.
No, I think I'm going to hang on to it because I'm that kind of person.
What's up, baby? Yeah. All right. So that's pretty cool. What have I been listening to? I don't know. I've really been in a Rush mode, and I know it sounds silly, but today I was listening to just to kind of like prep for the next level again. I was listening to Grace Under Pressure, and I was listening to Power Windows. And Power Windows
quickly decided you shouldn't be listening to those.
You know what? I got disappointed at, and I knew this anyway, but Grace Under Pressure and especially Power Windows, like Getty's bass takes such a back seat, and it's disappointing on so many levels. Because, like, it's not that there's not bass in the recordings. There's bass in the recordings, but a lot of it was done on Taurus pedals.
Yeah.
And, like, man, that's such a shame. Because it's, like, wasted opportunity. Because some of the songs on Power Windows, I actually realized I liked more than I thought. And Grace
that
Under
record
Pressure
just sounds like 1985 or whatever.
Oh no,
year it was.
that's one thing. But listening to Grace Under Pressure, I thought all of these songs could be in any John Hughes movie from that era, like Pretty in Pink, or like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I'm like, this could be the soundtrack to any John Hughes movie in the mid '80s. Like, wow, this is bad.
Yes.
Like, I can't take it. So, but that's for down the road. But now, with all that said, we are going to be talking about Black Friday releases. Did you want to bring up anything about a friend of yours, or no?
No. Let's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about his secret girlfriend.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. So, I was just gonna, kind of blow him up and have his girlfriend just come down and start beating him with like a loaf of French bread or something.
No, she's Rachel is in Georgia.
She's in Georgia.
Yeah, seeing her family, and of course, Mike, as you know, too hard to get away on Black Friday and Small Business Saturday and all of that. But
oh yeah, I'll be working on both of those days. So.
You know what? Actually, I am going to say something about my friend. I touched on it last week. My good buddy Britt Turner from Blackberry Smoke, the drummer in Blackberry
Who's
Smoke.
a guy and not his girlfriend, by the way.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. You can look at him pretty quickly and realize he's not a girl. So, but he's going through a pretty heavy medical situation, and if you're a positive vibes person or a praying person, please send him his way, into his family, into the Blackberry Smoke family. They're really going through it right now, and everybody needs to be sending their energy to him while he navigates this situation. So, Britt, if you're watching, love you, man, and you're the toughest guy I know, so I know you're gonna get through this, and everybody just send your best wishes to Britt and to his entire extended family, and there's a lot of us, so send your vibes to Britt.
Britt, we love you, brother.
Yes.
We want you to come on here and make fun of Nick directly.
Yes, and he will that will,
and I will
absolutely
join him. I will join him.
You will too.
So get better, man, and have a happy
Yes.
Thanksgiving. And
Yes.
happy Thanksgiving to everybody, for that
Yes.
matter. So, cool. All right. Getting into it now, there's 3 record store days. Was 1, then there was 2, then there
We're
was
going
like
back to 2.
2.5.
We're going back to 2.
Going back to 2 next year. This will be one of them. There was that second one that happened. It was like always April, and then there was this other one that sort of happened in the summer, like June-ish.
Yeah.
And that one I think is going away, right?
As far as I've been told, yes, we're going to go back to the first one. The original record store day was always in April, and then about 3 or 4 years into it, they added Black Friday. So it's really been those 2 up until COVID, and then they wanted to, obviously the production issues that were occurring.
Yep.
They had to figure that out, and then and I think they were trying for the stores to make it, because some of these stores have hundreds of people turn out for this, and obviously there was a time where that was not safe to do. So I think they were trying to make it easier on us by spreading the releases out over a couple different days to make it just safer for people to come in and shop. So that was greatly appreciated.
There you go. So now you got a little more spaced out. All is well. And there is a nice, big, fat, juicy list of releases coming out this Friday, man.
Yes.
There's just a lot, with a capital A and a capital lot.
And there's a couple great releases that are coming out as regular releases.
Yeah, just as standard releases on top of it all, right?
Yeah.
So, so just to review, there's 3 different categories of releases that come on Black Friday, and Nick is going to tell you which one is which as he's going through some of the highlights. 3 different types are an exclusive release, RSD first release, or a limited run / regional focus release. Now, exclusive means it's only coming out on Black Friday record store day.
Yes.
That is it. There is a limited number of copies. There will not be any more made. That is it. Then there's the RSD first release, which means it comes out first on Black Friday, record store day on Black Friday. And then there may be subsequent pressings afterwards, but they may be different than the one you get on Black Friday. Like
They
the one
will
on
be
Black
different.
Friday Yeah, like some of them have colored vinyl, and the standard pressings won't, or it'll have an extra 7-inch, or it'll come with a poster, or it'll be different cover, whatever it is. It always is different than the subsequent standard pressing. Okay. And then there's the limited run or regional release. Now those are literally regional releases. Like something might be released in the Detroit area that Nick has that I will never see in San Diego because it's literally maybe done in the Detroit pressing plant and that's why it's there. Something that is like a San Diego centric band or a Southern California centric band. He may not see it, but I would see it in one of the stores I go to. So, and they're very limited releases. These are like less than 2,000, generally less than 1,000 pieces.
Yeah, usually about 500. Yeah.
So those become very collectible very, very quick. And that's what you'll find. So Nick's going to go through some highlights here, and then I'm going to touch on some other ones myself. Did you bring actual physical versions of these? Cool.
I do. I've got a select handful that I thought some folks would like to see, and then I also have 2 releases that are coming out this week that I wanted to spotlight that aren't part of Record Store Day, but you'll see them in your local independent record shops. So
why don't we start with those first? Because if they're going to be available anywhere, that's, why don't we start with that, and then we'll get into the Record Store Day stuff.
Okay, so just for the sake of not of having to carry so much stuff as it was, I'm going to show the CD version of this, but there is a 6 LP box set and a 3 LP box set. This, Mike, I know you'll be excited. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, live at the Fillmore, 1997. If you're a Tom Petty and a Heartbreakers fan, you've been waiting decades for this. This is a 4 CD set. The 6 LP set mimics what's on the 4 CD set. There is a 3 LP, which is basically highlights. And if you don't know the story, the Heartbreakers played at the Fillmore for a month as the house band, and every night they changed up their set and they played different stuff. So there's Tom Petty songs on here, there's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers classics, there's covers, there's blues songs on here, there's special guests, there's all kinds of great stuff, all finally mastered in high quality. There's been bootlegs out for a long time, so you get tons of great stuff on here. It runs the whole scope of Tom Petty. As I said, I've been looking forward to this for a very long time. I'll be getting the 4 CD set that I'm holding here and the 6 LP because that's how I am.
Well, I am excited about that.
Uh-oh, here we go.
So the 4 CD set is perfect because I needed 4 coasters for my dining room table. And I figured this would be great.
I swear to God, you're the only person I know that doesn't like Tom Petty. I don't know how this is even possible.
It's very possible. I just don't dig on Tom Petty. I'm not going to piss on him like you pissed all over John Mellencamp, last week. God, you were so angry.
He's a two-bit Springsteen. Sorry.
Yeah, well, a 2-bit Springsteen is better than a 5-bit Nick.
It's probably true. Okay, so Deadweight, put Dennis's comment up. He's about to eat crow.
The Black Rose?
The Heartbreakers quit that gig when they were asked to play some Dead, except for they didn't because there's a version of Friend of the Devil on here.
Oh, no!
Sorry, Dennis. Even the Heartbreakers like the Dead.
Oh, my God, too funny. All right, what do you got up next as far as another standard release? This is not a Record Store Day release, just happens to be coming out on Record Store Day.
You got it, and I'm sorry you can see the ring light in this, but this is David Bowie.
I've heard of him.
David Bowie, Divine Symmetry. They've been doing a box set pretty much once a year since Bowie passed. That's like a deep dive into his classic records, and they've gone chronologically. This is the one for Hunky Dory, which for a lot of people is their favorite David Bowie record. It's the one before Ziggy Stardust. So you get a disc of demos on here, a disc of BBC sessions, remixes, alternate takes, and then a Blu-ray audio, which Mike and I love, of Hunky Dory, the album, some of the highlights of the outtakes and video of some of the old Gray Whistle tests and some other great stuff. Bowie, just before he got totally glam Bowie, comes with a hardcover book. It's a 5-disc set. Like I said, four CDs and a Blu-ray. So this is great. The Bowie estate has done a fantastic job of giving the fans what they want. leaving it scars and all when it comes to you. And there is a vinyl coming out of Hunky Dory Remixed that'll be out, I think, in February.
Well, that's good.
Yes. And trying to think what else was coming. Those were my 2 standard releases that I wanted to show, but there's some other stuff coming out. Like I know there's some more Savatage reissues, and there's a big one that's escaping my mind. I'm sorry, I can't remember what it was, and I didn't make any notes because I was more concerned about getting the RSD stuff.
It obviously wasn't. Well,
it wasn't as great as those 2 things. So.
It wasn't Bruce Springsteen, otherwise you would have remembered.
No, that came out 2 weeks ago.
I know.
Bruce's Soul Covers record, which is great.
I just realized I listened to the YouTube feed a little bit and it seemed like I was way louder than you. So just back that off a bit. All right. So the time is now.
Okay.
We will talk about RSD Black Friday. Ooh.
Ooh. We gotta do Megadeth Good Morning Black Friday.
Well, there you go. So again, RSD Record Store Day, Black Friday. Nick is going to tell you whether it's an exclusive, a first release, or a limited run. And we're going to go through some highlights. So, Nick, kick it off, man.
Cool. So this is The Cure, Wish, being reissued for the 30th anniversary of its release. This has been the Cure record that everybody's been looking for. I don't think it ever came out on vinyl originally. My mic is clipping. That's weird.
Your mic always crackles.
Oh, I'm sorry. My
like
monitoring
always.
the level. I don't know.
You got a shitty connection somewhere.
Sorry.
It's all right. You're fine.
Well, being reissued for the 30th anniversary, I don't think it ever came out on vinyl. If it did, it was Europe only. This is coming out for Record Store Day, is a picture disc of that. You see the die cut sleeve here, and if you can see, it says Record Store Day exclusive. So this is one of the ones that, as Mike was mentioning, that it's only going to be available on Record Store Day. However, there is a black vinyl version coming out in January, so that's your difference there. What's exclusive to Record Store Day is the picture disc.
Yep.
Not the release itself. But I will say I've gotten the last couple of Cure 90s albums reissues that have been hard to get, like Blood Flowers and Wild Mood Swings, and the picture discs sound great. So I don't know where they're having them pressed at, but if you've been waiting for this record, don't hold out for the black vinyl. I'm sure it sounds great.
Yay! Go Cure! Go Cure!
Hang on, I gotta move a chair over here so I can sit this stuff on.
Move the chair. Yeah, he's moving a chair.
Okay.
I think that's a euphemism for he had a fart. I gotta move a chair.
More David Bowie, because it wouldn't be Record Store Day without a David Bowie release.
He's put out more releases on Record Store Day than I think he has in his career.
Yeah, which is saying something because he's put out a lot of shit.
Yeah.
This is the Next Day EP, and if you're unfamiliar, the Next Day was the second to last Bowie record. I think he put it out in 2013. More of a solid rock record. Obviously, everybody talks about Black Star. That's sort of overshadowed it just because of his passing. Yep. But these are all the songs that were originally issued on like bonus CDs through Best Buy or Target or the Japanese market or whatever. They're all collected together here. It's seven tracks that were all recorded around the Next Day, and which I think is a great record. So first time on vinyl for that stuff, and that is also an RSD exclusive.
Somebody likes my shirt.
Yes.
It says, "Remember, kids, Satan loves you."
This is the one everybody's talking about, Mike.
Speaking of Satan,
I know you're going to want a copy of this.
Yeah, you damn right I want a copy of it.
Dream Widow. And if you're unfamiliar what this is Dave Grohl or the Foo Fighters, or some inclination of the Foo Fighters, doing brutal death metal.
Yeah.
It's all songs that were in the Studio 666 film. This is also, I want to double check my notes here, but I'm pretty sure this is an RSD exclusive as well, which is why people are so fired up about it. Yep.
It is an exclusive, yes.
It is an exclusive. I don't know how many copies it's limited to, but I know this is the one we've at Rock City gotten the most calls for. It's a single LP.
Let me see, because the form I have doesn't show that either. It doesn't say how many were made. But that's all right. So if you get, it's funny, if you go to the Record Store Day site, there's two files you can get. You can get the PDF or you can look at the web version. The web version says how many.
Yes. I'm going
Which
to
is
pull that
really,
up,
really
actually.
weird. I just pulled that up now myself. So Dream Widow, well, it's limited, but not that limited. It's 12,000 copies.
Okay, but like I've explained, and I just explained this in the Rock City video too. 12,000 copies. It seems like a lot. And to be fair, it is a lot. But
For a Record Store Day release, it's a lot. But if you break it up again, over 1,500 participating stores,
right, all of a sudden you're talking 3 copies per store, or whatever that 4 copies per store.
it's like 9 copies a store.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, your math is horrible, but that's all right.
Whatever, they go quick is the point. And I promise, after this weekend, this record will be over $100 on Discogs. And
I think by later on Friday it'll be over $100. It's one of those because again, with the movie, the background being Foo Fighters, Taylor Hawkins passing, all that. Yeah,
Foo Fighters in general, their titles always go fast.
Yep.
I wanted to talk about this one just because I knew we'd have a good time with it. Ace Frehley Origins Volume 2 Picture Disc.
Well,
if you're unfamiliar, this is Ace's Volume 2 of his covers record, covers albums. My favorite thing, though, that I've noticed about this album, Mike, is that the hype sticker is wrong. It's something for, I don't know if it's like a Disney film or something.
What does it say?
It says the 4th studio album featuring Natural and Zero from the original motion picture Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Wow.
So Ace got the wrong hype sticker. So
that's
sorry.
amazing.
Sorry, Ace. Not that he'll know, not that he'll care. But
when I put out the album, I figured I'd have something that related a little bit to Wreck-'em Ralph. Because I need all the help I can get. That's my Ace impression, which if you've ever heard Ace speak, well, no, actually, I think it's probably better. Because Ace has to be the whiniest person I've ever heard.
This is a RSD first, so this is limited to 5,000 copies. There will be another version of some kind. Who knows what it'll be? They've already released a standard black vinyl, so whatever one comes after this will be not a picture disc.
Sorry, Roger was just digging, and I thought he was going to knock over my speaker, and there was about to be a very loud bang, and then a second one after I killed him.
Or the speaker killed him.
Well, that too. That would be more upsetting because then I didn't have my chance at him.
How about, can we put Paul McCartney's comment up?
Let's see. John Mellencamp deserves everything bad said about him. I'm not going to say that John Mellencamp is the brightest, star in the sky. He's certainly not the sharpest tool in the shed. The guy's had like 80 heart attacks and still smokes like 2 packs a day.
Which is awesome to be.
Give it up, man. Obviously there's something not good here.
Right.
Anyway, what's up next? What you got?
Okay, so I want to give a shout out to our local record label that's been putting out some great RSD releases, and that is Sound City Music Group, coming out on vinyl for the first time ever. Ted Nugent, Spirit of the Wild. Most folks would know this because it has Fred Bear on it. First time on vinyl ever, orange vinyl, limited edition, 3,000 units. I almost said 300, I'm sorry, 3,000 units. And that one is an RSD exclusive. So
you can only get it Friday.
You can only get it Friday. And it's got 2 unreleased tracks that weren't on the original CD. So that's pretty cool. They also, I don't have a copy of it to show, but they also put out a fantastic archival release from the Suite. That's Give Us a Wink demos and alternate mixes. So if you're into the Suite, that's a great era of stuff that has not been released before. I think that one's also limited to 3,000 units, and I think it's on red vinyl. It might also be on orange vinyl as well, but they're doing some great releases, and they did on the last Record Store Day as well. So shout out to
Actually, hasn't Sweet done the past 2 Record Store Days?
I believe so, but
because they had volume 1 and 2 of their unreleased
and those were also from Sound City Music Group. So they've been doing a lot of great stuff with the Sweets catalog in in partnership with Andy from the Suite, who is the last surviving member. So getting all kinds of cool stuff.
There you go.
I pulled this one just because the artwork is so outstanding. Snoop Dogg Kool-Aid. And it's got this fantastic artwork on it. He's got all different kinds of Kool-Aid lingo, G, swag, style, and hair. And he's an actual dog on the cover of this, kicking it back to the doggy style cover. And this is the first time on vinyl, limited edition lime green, comes with a download code. And this one is a boom, 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 boom.
Boom, boom,
Where'd my notes go? Come on, Snoop, where'd you go, man? All right.
Where is your
RSD
Snoop?
first.
Where is your Snoop?
So again, this will be one that when they do reissue it, whenever that happens, and that could be a couple years from now, but whenever that happens, it probably will just be standard black vinyl, or it'll be a different color or something like that. So the lime green will be exclusive to RSD.
Okay.
John Mellencamp paid $300,000 into Mick Ronson cancer bills to help him out towards the end, plus donated money off one of his LPs, as did Bowie. Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, that's pretty nice of him. That's really
And
cool.
Def Leppard. That's what DL means.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, look, John Mellencamp has done some really magnanimous things, but he needs to stop smoking.
Does he, though?
It's obviously not going to kill him. So
Didn't you smoke cigarettes when I met you, too?
No.
Maybe you had
Well,
just
maybe.
quit?
I think it was right after I quit, because I quit in 2011.
Yeah, I met you in 12, so there you go.
Yeah, I met you right after I quit.
And
So-
here's one I know Gall McCartney's going to be stoked about this, but I think this is one of the best albums of all time.
Oh my
And
God.
no, this I'm being serious. I think this is a fantastic release. Todd Rundgren, Something Anything. This is for the 50th anniversary. This is a Record Store Day exclusive. 4 LPs on ruby, grape, cobalt, and light blue vinyl. Remastered from the original tapes, cut at 45 RPM by Chris Bellman. New liner notes, so it's got a book in there, and of course has all the fantastic Todd Rundgren songs like Hello, It's Me, I Saw the Light, and Couldn't I Just Tell You. Luckily, Bang on the Drum All Day is not on this record.
God damn it.
But I'd be willing to bet this is probably the best this album's ever going to sound. So if you're a Todd Rundgren fan, don't sleep on this because it is an exclusive.
You know, if Bang on the Drum was on there, I'd buy it.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
There'd be
Actually,
no reason to celebrate that.
if that was on there and then his cover of the Authority song, that would be, I'd be all about it.
Luckily,
I'm just
Todd
saying.
Rundgren would never lower his expectations enough to play that song.
Hello, it's me. Sorry.
It's such a great song. The Fuzz Bubble guys backed me up on that.
Yeah, it is a great song. I don't disagree with you at all.
And Todd is a great musician. You're absolutely right.
Todd is a great musician.
Finally, another picture disc, Ghost, the new
yes.
Ghost album, which is killer.
And
This is
I
on-
think it just won. I think it just won at the American Music Awards. They just won a big award there. So
yeah,
for that
I
album.
think, and I think it's the first time like there was a metal category or something.
I don't know, but either way they won. So really happy for them.
Yes, good for
which is-
that.
Yeah. Well, I have friends that manage them, and they've been working with them since they were not even known, and they've really built them up to be this, really cool act.
And
Let's
they're
be
an
honest,
arena
so-
band now.
They are an arena band, which is
So-
crazy.
Yeah, the first time I saw Ghost was on their second album, and they were playing St. Andrews Hall here in Detroit, which holds like maybe 900 people. So now the last time they were here, I think they did the arena. So I mean it's crazy. The first couple Ghost records, I mean they're all good, but that first one is really outstanding in my opinion. But there's tons of other stuff. I couldn't carry everything because some of these are box sets, but there's great stuff coming out from the Monkees, from Motorhead, from Motley Crue, Madonna.
Yeah, Motley
Duran-
Crue has even more re-releases.
Yes,
Like, when does it end?
I know. And this thing that's coming out for Record Store Day is is just songs from Girls, Girls, Girls on a 10-inch. So it's nothing special, but I get it. I mean, you know, it's like I've bought stuff that's nothing special too. So, you know, if you're into it, you're into it. Oh, and Mike, there was one other release I wanted to talk about.
Oh, I know which one you probably want to talk about because it's going to piss me off.
Yep, it's the one I knew you're going to be most excited about. Grateful Dead.
Yep.
4/7/72. That's the opening date on the Europe 72 tour, which
Wow, I couldn't wait for this.
50th anniversary of this year, and has a kick-ass trucking into the other one. So,
well, there you go. That's wow.
Yep.
You know what? That's a 5 LP set, which means it's 4 songs.
No. To be fair, there's about 12 songs.
12 maybe? Two aside, possibly somewhere along the way?
I know this. I can tell you the other one that's on there is like almost 27 minutes long. So that's definitely its own side. There's a great release coming out from Hendrix. If you're into jazz, there's some great stuff from Ahmad Jamal, Charles.
The Hendrix release, though, I think was previously released.
I don't
think this is the first time.
I think it was released on CD.
Yeah, not on vinyl.
Yeah.
It's a previous release, so it's just coming out on vinyl.
It's unreleased studio tracks from 69 and 70, which have been, you know, redone by Eddie Kramer, as always, and it is officially sanctioned by the family.
Yep.
So it is
because everything has to be.
Yep. Yes, that's true. One I wanted to spotlight as well that I didn't have on hand because it's actually not showing up until right before we open our doors. City Baby Attacked by Rats by GBH is being reissued. That's, I believe, a regional focus one because there's only 1,250 copies of it.
Yeah, that's a tight one right there.
So if you're into the punk stuff, that's a must own.
Come early.
Yep. And then, like I said, the tons of great jazz stuff. Charles Mingus, Thelonious Monk, Ahmad Jamal.
Yeah, the Mingus stuff sounds really interesting. And I think the Thelonious Monk is, what is it, the classic quartet?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So that's pretty cool too. If you're into your jazz and the jazz that matters, I should say.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, those guys are definitely top of the game. There's also something with the Jerry Garcia band, which I'm surprised you didn't mention. Well, another 5 LP live album of nonsense.
Well, if you watched the Rock City video earlier tonight, I mentioned how I'm not really that into the Jerry Garcia band. I'm more traditional Grateful Dead only. But it is from the Hampton Coliseum, which if you're into anything by the Grateful Dead, you know some fantastic things happened at the Hampton Coliseum. So I'm sure that Jerry...
And this was not one of them.
No, I'm sure it was fantastic. Patrick says Mingus is interesting, but still too much free jazz for my taste. Yes and no. Earlier Mingus is pretty straightforward, and some of like the not straightforward, but it's more like listenable jazz. Once you get past the saint, the black lady, the saint, and the sinner lady, yeah, it's pretty nuts. But that record's outstanding, I think.
Yeah. I that's one of those that, I mean, unfortunately, I'll be working, so I'm going to miss Record Store Day completely.
Oh, man.
Well, I'm going to be on a plane, and the plane leaves at noon, so I won't be able to shop beforehand. Then I land at 1:30. I got to be at a store by 2, and I'm going to work till about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I'm going to miss it all. And by the time I get to any store, they're going to be sold out of everything.
It's going to be picked over completely.
Which is why you and I are hanging out 5 minutes after the show. So
there we go. There we go. And here's something I know that you're going to want, Mike. I don't know if you saw this, but there is 4 different Ringo Starr releases.
You know, I wanted to talk about that. Not at all. I wanted to make sure that we didn't bring that one up. So thank you. I appreciate that.
But yeah, Joe Strummer, there's really something for everybody. I think they do a great job of incorporating as many different genres as they can. I mean, there's always a reason to go out and support your local independent store. And I think we always say Record Store Day is every day at Rock City Music Company, but you get rewarded for coming in on Record Store Day. So
absolutely, you know what it is. I mean, it's and I've mentioned it before on this show, and you know how it's turned into like the place to be again. You know, like I see lines that are longer than what I used to sleep in lines like that for tickets. you know, back in the day. And now it's records. Now, some of it, let's just do this to the flippers.
Yep.
The people that just buy them to sell them.
And that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people, so fuck you. Anybody that's watching this that actually collects albums, get there in front of them.
Yep.
And buy as many as you can. And then share them with people that care. You know?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Now, somebody's asking about the four-legged boss. He's standing on my table right now. Get off! What are you doing?
Oh,
Jesus.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, so that's where he is. Dick. I love you. Come here. You want to say hello to everybody? There's a bunch of people watching. Come up. Come on.
Mike, did you get the Iron Maiden? I know Pat got it.
The Iron Maiden?
Iron Maiden.
The
Hammersmith.
No, I did not.
Pretty
Not.
awesome.
Not yet. I'm gonna, but Roger, say hello to everybody. Well, that was right in my mouth. Thank you, buddy. All right. Okay. Yes. Happy Thanksgiving. He says happy Thanksgiving. Look, wave. Hello. Hi.
What's up, Roger?
What was that? Well, there you go. That was his statement.
Sounds like Paul McCartney when there's some Doritos around.
That sounds like Paul McCartney when he's breathing. That sounds like Paul McCartney when he's just awake. So anyway, hey, stop it. I love you. All right. So there's a couple others I wanted to highlight really quick. That I found interesting. This seems to be a big thing now, or at least it's growing. These mini albums, these 3-inch vinyls that you put on mini record players.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And you have
there's
to have a
several of
special
them coming
player.
out. Yeah, you need to have a special player. They're literally this big, and it's vinyl. And you can't play that on a regular record player. It's too small.
You know what it is, Mike? It's not just vinyl. It's stupid.
It's not just vinyl. It's stupid. All right. Well, Beck has one of those coming out on Friday, and there's a couple of others that are coming out too that I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, just stop it. Black Label Society, Scullage, that's coming out. It's an RSD first, 4,000 copies on that one. Devo's Gerald V. Casale is putting out the Invisible Man EP.
Yep.
The Marshall Crenshaw 40th Anniversary Edition. That seemed interesting if you're into
That
Marshall
looks great.
Crenshaw.
That looked great.
Let's see. Dave Davies has a couple of things coming out. He's got a double LP and a 7-inch vinyl. Duran Duran. This made me happy. Duran Duran live at Hammersmith from 1982. It's a double LP. I think that's going to be totally kick-ass.
Yeah, it's got to be on the Rio tour.
Yeah, on the Rio tour, exactly. Yeah. So you're getting like all that early, Hungry Like the Wolf, Rio, like all those hits from early in the day, and when they were hungry. So like the wolf, I guess. Hey, I didn't try. It just sort of happened. Billie Eilish, Happier Than Ever. I like Billie Eilish. I'm actually happy this album's coming out on vinyl on Record Store Day. This is an RSD exclusive as well. Doesn't say how many were being released, though.
Well, and this, I have to say, is like the 10th variant that's been available.
But either way. And then Engine Kid. Now, I don't know if you guys know who Engine Kid is. Really, really great band. This is a 1994 re-release of their album called Angel Wings, and it also has a 2021 flexi single in there, I think. Now, Engine Kid, it's being released on Southern Lord. Greg Anderson, who's the guitarist of Engine Kid, is Southern Lord Records. Yes. So anything that's put out on Southern Lord Records, Greg is the brainchild of and head of that record label, and it's his whole thing. And Greg is a super cool dude, and I love his guitar sound. And if you want to hear other things that Greg does, check out Goatsnake. You have to check out Goatsnake. That's just heavy.
Fans of Sun and Electric Wizard and
he's in Sun as well.
Yeah,
so.
Right. Yeah, that's true. They just played Detroit like a week or so ago.
Oh, wow.
I like to be able to at least hear my own self think. So I
yeah,
didn't go.
the thing about anything Greg does, it's loud. It's really, really loud. I saw Goatsnake play at the Troubadour back in '98, and there weren't that many people there, and everything was on like 10.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about the Troubadour, it is not a big place, and I was going deaf. It was freaking loud.
I can't remember if I talked about that on here or not, but Sun played this art gallery in Detroit one time, and they played like as soon as they hit their first or second chord, it blew all the windows out onto Woodward on the main street of Detroit. I mean, like just boom.
That's not a shock at all. That's they're loud.
Yeah.
Fountains of Wayne,
Yes.
Traffic and Weather. That's an RSD first. We talked about Ace Frehley. We made fun of the Jerry Garcia band. Oh, and then that Fleetwood Mac, the alternate collection, I think is coming out. It's a box set. It was like all their other previous RSD releases are now available in one box in colored vinyl.
You got it.
So, yay.
Oh, and here's another one that we need to talk about that just popped into my head. The Smash Mouth 25th anniversary
Fush You Mang.
of their debut album featuring the fantastic, one of the greatest songs ever written, Walking on the Sun.
Yeah, because and the funny thing is that'll sell out.
Yeah.
Which is disgusting. Let's see. Who else? Green Jelly. They got an RSD first coming out called Music to Insult Your Intelligence By.
It's awesome.
That's just a great title. Olivia Newton-John, Physical, coming out on picture disc. Hell yeah.
Let's get physical.
Love her. I still love her. Let's see. Well, we talked about Ted Nugent. Willie Nelson, live at Budokan. Why do I find that really odd?
Scotty made a joke when I was talking about it in the Rock City video. He asked if Willie does Clock Strikes 10, and he does not.
He does not. And that one's 9,100 pieces in that run.
And it's from like 84 or 85, I think.
Yeah.
But all the classic Willie stuff's on there.
So let's see. There was something else. Oh yeah, Going to a Go-Go. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. I actually have a kind of a small tie-in with that from this past weekend. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Return of the Dream Canteen,
Which was literally out a month ago.
and it's an RSD exclusive of 5,000 pieces.
It's on colored vinyl, and it has a different. It has slightly different cover art, and it comes with a poster. That's the difference.
We talked about Fushu Mang. We talked about Kool-Aid. Jesse's Girl. 40th anniversary of Jesse's Girl coming out on a 12-inch single. Oh yeah, Rick Springfield. And then, yeah, you mentioned Ringo is coming out with not one, not two, not three, but 4 releases. 5 total if you include the CD. Now, I was watching another store talk about Record Store Day.
Thanks a lot.
Well, no, I was watching the video just to see what other people were saying about it. And they were giving their preview. And other stores are stupid. I got to be honest, man. I mean, I think you need to know your product and kind of know things. Steve Lukather, how do you say his last name?
Lukather.
Lukather.
What?
I'm like, no, it's Lukather.
Yeah.
Like Steve, Lukather. Like,
That's no good.
wow. And then Hamish was Hamish. No.
Hamish Stewart.
Exactly. Like, it's not Hamish.
Wait, Patrick said Lonnie Mac and SRV. Yes, I saw the Lonnie Mac. There's an SRV. I don't remember seeing that.
I'm not up to V yet. Let's see. There is.
I mean, it's possible.
Is
I
there
missed it.
Stevie Ray Vaughan?
We had 6 boxes of stuff, so it's very possible.
I don't
missed
see
it.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. Unless it's Lonnie Mac with Stevie Ray Vaughan. And
Oh,
maybe
could
that's
be.
which is possible, but
It could be. That might be.
it could be. Ultravox makes another return to Record Store Day with another Steven Wilson remix, which is awesome. Steven Wilson, as you know, it has like probably the best ears in rock and roll right now, or in recording right now. So this one, they just he's did the RSD exclusive on the stereo mix for this one. It's Rage in Eden is the album that's coming out. Only $27.50, and the CD, there's only 575 of those made. That's a limited run or a regional focus. And then
it is Lonnie Mac with SRV, by the way. They're on the
that
same
makes
album.
sense then. Okay, so it's not two separate things. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all of the really cool things. I mean, there's other stuff too, like there's a Christmas song by Dee Snider and Lizzie Hale,
yes,
which is, I found that interesting as well. Some of the titles are just funny. David Lynch has a painting made of flies' eyes. I don't know, whatever.
Standard David Lynch BS.
Yeah, well, it's not him; it's somebody else. And then, Smokey Robinson and Miracles. Papa Roach.
Oh, yeah.
Papa Roach has an album coming out. 3,000 pieces. RSD first. The album is called Ego Trip. There you go.
The Ego Trip is them making 3,000 of them.
Yeah. Oh, now this is funny. I watched someone ask for D10. They meant Dio. I wept. That is awful. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my God. Yeah, if anybody did that in my presence, you would just get backhanded. Like, sorry, you're done.
Well, I guess, have you ever been in the store and had somebody ask if you have any 7 enders?
What?
Yeah, 7 enders. That would be a Fender.
Oh, 7. No, I never was asked for a 7-ender. I was asked. Now, there's those of you that don't play guitar, there's lots of different string companies. And one is called Dean Markley. And I can't tell you how many times I got asked for Dean Martin strings. That was always great. And this one guy, he was like totally out of his mind. Like, definitely crazy. He's like, hey, I used to play guitars before they were plastic. Like, all right, buddy. So we're, now I'm like happy he's getting ready to leave. He comes up to the counter. Hey, why don't you give me I'll take a set of them Dean Martin strings. And he said it all serious. And I'm like, I'm sorry. All I have is Sammy Davis. And he looked at me like I had 10 heads. I'm like, I'll just grab that for you. Here you go.
That's fantastic.
$5.72. Thank you. Have a nice day. So.
Jesse, our tech Jesse, his dad, when I used to work with him at the old store at Blues Airman, he used to always say to people, they would say, do you have any guitar picks? And he'd say, yep, 25 cents each or 3 for $1.
I bet people bought 3 for $1.
Oh,
like
constantly. Yeah. And I was like, aren't you going to tell him? And he's like, if they can't figure that out, they deserve to pay you $1 for 3 picks.
They're musicians. They can count to 4.
Right.
Oh, my God. Well, anyway, that's pretty much it. I mean, as far as the Record Store Day preview, we do have a couple of segments left, 2 of them to be exact. And they're called Discovered and This Song Sucks.
Wait a minute.
Wait, no.
Wait a minute.
Wait, we don't. We have others.
We have 3.
Well, we're not going to get to everything. But actually, before we get there, I'm just getting tired, man. We didn't get a chance to touch on this. And Nick and I are going to give our respective reviews on the Revolver, the Revolver Super Deluxe box set, which came out a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
I'm going to go first.
Okay.
It's good. I'm done. Your turn.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I can't believe I waited 3 weeks to hear that review of
good.
the box set.
I don't have it. So all I did was listen to it, I just listened to the songs. I listened to the songs on, through Apple Music, because that's the only way that you can get the streaming Atmos mix.
Yes.
Because it turns out that they couldn't get it done in time, and so it wasn't put on a Blu-ray, and therefore it wasn't part of this whole thing. AKA, they want you to buy it again later.
Yep.
So, whatever.
There
are pros and cons of this box set that I definitely have opinions on. But
let's hit the pros first. Okay, the pros are as with the last 5 albums they reissued, the remix is fantastic. I think it's really solid. Giles Martin is doing a fantastic job of staying true to the original album, but still adjusting things that you maybe didn't know were there, or fattening some things up. And I don't mean like adding effects or recutting anything. He's just mixing it differently. So, and especially now because we have systems that can handle good bass output, I think he's intentionally turning up McCartney bass parts, because some of those get lost on the original pressings.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because they were designed for systems that couldn't handle fat bass. So especially on things like Taxman and Got to Get You Into My Life, the bass playing that's going on from Paul McCartney is just outstanding. So that's a pro. The book that comes with the set is outstanding again. Lots of great unseen photos. The liner notes are fantastic. There's a great essay from Questlove in there. Some notes from Paul McCartney, which he ends his liner notes with, a pretty good album, if I do say so myself. So that's one way to put it. And the pressing quality is great. The CD sounds great. The Atmos is outstanding. If you have an Atmos setup, things like Yellow Submarine are just jaw-dropping good. Not the song necessarily, but the effects that are going on. They did a really great job with the Atmos mix.
Are you saying you don't like the song?
I like the song, but I know a lot of people point to that as the reason they don't like the Beatles. So I like the song.
Okay, fair
The
enough.
cons. Okay, here's my biggest con. Well, one, of course, that there's no Blu-ray included, because for me, and I know for you as well, that's a huge selling point. One of the reasons why I didn't buy the Rush Permanent Waves Super Deluxe is because it didn't have the Blu-ray.
But there's a reason why that one doesn't have the Blu-ray. I think that those
master
tapes were
tapes.
burned up. So those are tapes that were burned up in the Universal Vault fire. So I mean, if you don't have master tapes to make it from, what are you going to do?
No, and that's fine. I mean, I'm sure it's still a great box, but for me, that's usually what pushes it over the edge, because I have a good system to play that stuff on. I know some people don't care about that because they just want the remix CD or they want the vinyl or whatever. So that's, of course, the number one con. Number two, some of this stuff, especially on the CD side of things, the box could have been condensed in terms of discs. So like the CD set, I think, has 5 CDs, the remixed album, the original mono album, 2 discs outtakes, and then an EP. If you total all of that up, it easily could have fit on a total of 3 CDs, and it's spread over 5. So that's a little, I don't know. You got 2 discs of outtakes that are only like 39 minutes each. So that sucks in my mind. I think they either, and I've got I'm a Beatle nut, as most people know. I've got 7 discs of Revolver outtakes on bootlegs. It's not that they don't have the stuff. They're just not putting it all out. They're being very specific about what comes out, whether that's because they want to put other stuff out later or because they're just selective because they don't think everything needs to go out. And I know some people don't like that warts and all and fly on the wall stuff. Not everybody's into that. I am. So I would have way rather had those discs fattened up rather than them pared down to just the outtakes that either Giles or McCartney or, Apple Corps decided they were going to put out. Those were the 2 biggest cons for me. I think presentation wise, it's great. Sound quality wise, it's great. The remix is great. The book is great. So I still think it's awesome. If you're a Beatle fan, it's a must own. And I really hope they do Rubber Soul.
Yeah, that is supposedly that the rumor is that's going to be the next one. So, who knows? But I think that would be badass. Hearing that in Atmos,
Yes.
I think that would be super killer. That would be a pretty cool addition. And it'd be a good way to kind of at that point, what else are you going to do?
Yep.
I mean, how many more albums are there to actually, you're not going to do Meet the Beatles,
You could
remixed,
probably do, I think you could do Hard Day's Night just because of all the stuff that went around that with the movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of alternate mixes and different takes of stuff. So I think they could get away with one for Hard Day's Night, especially
maybe Help.
Maybe Help, and both of those, it's include a 4K Blu-ray of the movie.
Of the movie, yeah, that's the whole thing. The movie would have to be, you know, recolored and et cetera and so forth to really make that something that's worth getting.
And Criterion Collection, which I'm also a giant fan of, they just did a 4K of Hard Day's Night, and it looks outstanding, and the bonus features that are with it are fantastic. So that's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if that one's going to be as necessary. I do think from a material standpoint, they could get away with doing Hard Day's Night, but and I would want them to do everything. It's like, I'd love a super deluxe box set of Meet the Beatles, but I know obviously these are designed for mass consumption, and mass consumption on a Meet the Beatles super deluxe is probably not there.
For me, I like the mono mix a lot. Yeah, I really like the mono mix in this set a ton. And I compared it because I know that they have like several different versions of this. So I was able to listen to like the 2014 and the 2009 and all this other stuff. So I just gave it a quick listen compared to the 2014. And this one is a little brighter. I like it better for that reason. While the 2014 mix was pretty good, it was really good actually, it's a little muddier. A little muddier.
2014 mono? Is that what you're referring to? Okay.
Whereas this one is a little bit more articulate. I think there's a little bit more on the top, a little more bright, a little more sparkle that kind of brings out a little more articulation overall. And I think it's really like, that's going to be the reference going forward as far as mono mixes go. Like for the Beatles, like Giles Martin did a phenomenal job with it. He did an absolutely phenomenal job.
And I think an important thing to remember, especially with the Beatles and to an extent with the Stones, they put way more effort into the mono mixes than they did the stereo mixes at that time. It talks about in the book, just based on recording notes and everything, the Beatles and George Martin and Jeff Emmerich spent 2.5 weeks on the mono mix, where the stereo mixes were done in 2 days, because they weren't concerned about it. At the time, the medium was still mono. And until they got to, I think, the White Album, they weren't even really putting that much. They were leaving it to the engineer to do it. They weren't even, they didn't even listen to it. So, and of course there's all sorts of historical reasons why and how systems were set up and the car radio and all that. But I think it's important to remember, because I know over time it's like the mono has sort of become like, oh, that's the niche-y thing of it that they're including in the box set. But that is what the Beatles cared about more than anything, was the mono mix.
Yeah.
And the Stones
at the time, that's, you know, I mean,
set.
you're getting played on the radio, and radios at the time were a box. So it's understandable. It's understandable. Also, the whole thing, like, I think it was sort of advertised that you were going to get like a digital version in the box, and you didn't. It's available if you have Apple Music, but that's it.
And everything is on all the platforms except the Atmos. So Tidal and Spotify have the full box set. But not the Atmos.
So it's just, but you don't get it in a physical. I think that's what it was. It kind of made it seem like you get this digital
code,
but you don't.
It's not.
So it's not in there. So I think that was a little bit. They were a bit wonky with talking about it in that way. Either way, though, sonically, again, I don't have the set. The other thing that I do have a complaint about, this I know a lot of people are kind of pissed off about. If you buy the CD set, you get the book. If you buy the LP set, you get the book. So if you want to buy both, you get 2 of the same fucking book.
I believe, though, that the books are different in terms of size.
That's it.
But
it's the same book.
But the LP book is nicer than the CD book because the pages are larger.
That's all right. So for those that are, Mr. Magoo, fine. That's great. But in my mind, then what you could have done is made CD and LP with one book. And done a really like super deluxe box set like that, charged a little bit more, and done it in one book, as opposed to wasting a lot of material, to do this over, and all the engineering that you would need to go into. Well, this book needs to be this big, this book needs to be this big, and blah 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 blah. And what expense went into that when you could just come up with a better box and use one book and have everything in there?
And I agree with you, because somebody like me, somebody like you, that's what we want, right?
Yeah.
But especially when you're dealing with a band like the Beatles, I mean, that's so, they're the biggest band of all time. It's like there's so many people that are like, screw the vinyl, I don't want the vinyl. I just want
That's
the CDs,
fine.
and
I
vice
get
versa.
that. I'm not saying not to have a vinyl only. You should have a vinyl only. You should have a CD with book, and then you have CD and vinyl with book, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. What you don't need is like CD with book, vinyl with book.
Mm-hmm.
That to me seems like a complete waste.
I
So
think it's,
you could
of
have,
course, to fatten up the price point.
but it's dumb because you're already getting the book in the CD thing, and if you want to get the vinyl as well, now you're forced to pay more because it's got the same fucking book.
Yep.
To me, that's bullshit. That's nonsense. So, I love the Beatles, and I'll get the vinyl. I will not get the CDs because there's no Blu-ray, and I can listen to it streaming.
Yep.
So why would I get that set? I'm just going to get the LP set. Meanwhile, if they included a Blu-ray and not a book with the LPs, I probably would have bought both.
Yeah.
To kind of have a complete thing. So they didn't really think this through really well.
I would have way rather, like, because you did mention about like how the Atmos wasn't going to be done in time or whatever to run to get the Blu-ray to production. I would have way rather they just held the box.
Yeah, just
You know
wait.
what I mean? Yeah, it's like Revolver is still Revolver, whether we get it 6 months from now or not.
Is it some specific anniversary this year? No,
because
it was released in
yeah.
what, 66?
Yeah, so it's 56 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Right.
Who
it's
cares if it
already
comes
off.
out 56 or 57 years?
Yeah,
like,
right.
it's not a 5 or a 0 anniversary. Like, who cares? So
And they did that with the Let It Be set last year, is they kept holding it back because of production problems, because that was right at the height of COVID. And actually, I'm sorry, I believe that came out end of 2020. So they held that back because of the production issues, and they were trying to time it with the Peter Jackson thing coming out. So
which is okay, and
Yeah.
that makes sense. That having that tie-in totally makes sense. This doesn't.
yep.
So that kind of has me angry.
Yeah, I agree with you completely, and that's why I was saying what I was saying about the outtakes. Like,
Yeah.
I know as a Beatle fan, there's 7 discs of this shit. And there's probably plenty of stuff that never got released. It's like, don't feed me 80 minutes of outtakes. That's frustrating.
Yeah. Well, all right. So that wraps up, I would assume, wrapping up our review of the Beatles Super Deluxe Revolver box set. Sonically amazing. Sonically amazing. Packaging and content. The book's awesome, but do you need 2 of them if you're buying both? No, you really don't. My recommendation would be get the LP box set, listen to the everything else on Apple Music or Tidal or what have you, because it doesn't make sense otherwise.
Unless you're me.
But if you're a collector, fine, get it all.
Right.
But if you're, like if you had to choose between one or the other, I would get the LP set.
Yeah.
Because you can get the CD quality more or less through a quality streaming service.
Yep. And one thing last thing to hit on the LP set, the mono LP that comes with the LP set is a fully all analog master of the mono.
Yes.
So that's like that one that was in the box set in 2014 that was super sought after because of its analog production. Like it's now back in circulation if you get that box set. The regular 1 LP that you see at the store is just the 2022 remix. You can't buy the mono separate.
There you go. We're not going to do Christmas songs today, man. I don't have it in me.
Okay, except for my Discovered and my This Song Sucks are from
That's
that.
fine. That'll be the tie-in, but we will go right now to Discovered and This Song Sucks, which are our favorite and most popular segments. I don't know. I haven't polled anybody, so I just say that they are everybody's favorite segments just because I'm just putting words in everybody's mouth.
You're good at that.
Yeah, pretty good. So we're going to start off with this Discovered, which of course we discuss a cover song that we like as much, if not more than the original. We always alternate starting. Last week you started. I'm going to start this week.
Okay.
And something that I have been listening to is Def Leppard. I do like Def Leppard. And I picked up about a month or so ago their album called Yeah, which is a double LP of all covers. And some are okay and some are questionable, but there's a couple of real bangers that are on that album. And I had a hard time choosing which one, but I'm going to go with their version of Stay With Me. They actually kill it. They do a really good job. And of course, they fatten it up a bit because it's more modern, what have you. But Phil Collins sings it.
There you go.
So while Joe Elliott is actually playing a Fender Rhodes. So, which is a keyboard, if you guys didn't know that. It's not a guitar. Fender actually had Fender Rhodes keyboards in the 60s, and now they're sought after, and they weigh 1 million pounds.
Yes.
So, yeah, you know, their version, I mean, Stay With Me, of course, the Faces, Rod Stewart and Ronnie Wood et al. That song is one of my favorite sarcastic songs of all time. It's just like, yeah, I'll nail you, but you gotta go. That's basically that song in a sentence. You know, I'm all down with mashing, but you gotta take off after that. So, and it's hysterical from start to finish. When you listen to the lyrics, it's amazing. And I would just love to know what was the source material for that. I want to ask Rod Stewart, dude, who was this?
Yes.
You know,
tell me.
But Def Leppard redid it, and they did a really, really, really good job. First of all, it's faithful start to finish. It doesn't like go off on a tangent or anything, but it's just really thick and big as far as production with more distorted guitar. And Phil Collins has an amazing voice. He's got another band besides Def Leppard that he's the lead singer of. And when I first saw that this was on there, I'm like, there's no way Joe Elliott could hit these notes. Like, did they drop it like 3 octaves for him to do this? And then it was like, Phil Collins. Oh, wow. It's pretty awesome. So
plus
I highly recommend it.
He doesn't have the attitude that Rod Stewart has on that song.
No, he doesn't, but he's got a good vocal. I'm not saying I like it better, but I like it a lot. I do like it a lot. And Rod Stewart, I mean, he just forget it. He was completely cocksure on singing that one.
Yes.
But Phil Collins did a really good job, and I really do like the production of it. Obviously, it's a newer, more modern version, so it is a bigger production, but it's done really, really well. I highly recommend it.
Yes. That's a great one. I forgot when they did that record, because was the single No Matter What?
No Matter What was one of the, I think that and maybe 20th Century Boy.
Okay.
But I think No Matter What may have been the single from it. I think you may be right.
They picked a lot of great
Patty
tunes.
would know. Patty Williams would know what the single was from that album.
That's a solid covers record, though.
It is. And there are a lot of bands that put out covers albums, and a lot of them suck, like Bruce Springsteen. Like, sorry.
Actually, I want to touch on that, because I was one of the, I'm a giant Bruce fan, as everybody knows. And that, when I heard that that's what was coming, I was like, oh no, this, like, there's no way. Like, but I think it actually came across much better than I thought it was going to, because the production is vintage. You know, it sounds like the records he's covering, those Motown tracks and Stax tracks, and I think he killed it actually in the songs that he does the vocals on are strong suited for his voice. I thought it was great. I was pleasantly surprised. I really was.
Well, I'll have to not listen to it at some point.
Speaking of which,
yes.
This is something we'll talk about off air. Never mind.
Well, it's your turn for a cover.
Okay, well, now I don't know I know what to pick, because I'm going to save my Christmas one for when we talk about
I'm
Christmas.
saying you could do the Christmas one now.
Yeah, but then I got to figure out something else when we do talk about
You hate Christmas songs. It shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, oh yeah, I had a ton for this song. Sucks. No, I'm going to go with, I talked at the top of the show about what I'm still listening to, or what I'm currently listening to, and I've been praising Butch Walker quite a bit on this show. But he did an outstanding cover of I Want to Stay Home by Jellyfish off of Belly Button.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which, as we all know, they're not an easy band to replicate.
No, I've tried. It doesn't work.
No, and he just did it, him and an acoustic guitar, and it really shows, the brilliance of the songwriting when you get rid of even the kitchen sink production that they have. Again, I don't like it better than the original, but I think it's on par because it's a different take on that song. So
Definitely
I thought
want
he
to check
did
that out. That's for sure.
Outstanding job on that.
Well, since we finished with Discovered, you know what time it is. It's here. Once again. You know it. You love it. It's this song sucks.
So good.
It just never gets old, man. It just never gets old. It's so good. All right. This song sucks, where we talk about a great band that had a shitty song. And sometimes it's several shitty songs in the case of, Kiss. That's right, Roger. That's right. Kiss sucks too
He's
at
like,
times.
stop ragging on Kiss.
I was like, but Gene. So, Nick, this song sucks. What song sucks this week for you, Nick?
All right, well, because I can't think of anything else, I guess I'm going to have to go with my Christmas pick.
You said you had a ton for it.
I do, but I wanted to save. You know what? Okay, I'm going to go to a different one because I'm going to save my ultimate song that I hate for Christmas.
Okay.
That Scotty already guessed. I was promoting Cover to Covered on the Rock City video, and he goes, "Oh, I already know what you're going to pick for this song sucks." And I go, "What is it?" And he said what it was, and I go, "No spoilers needed." I'm like, he knew exactly what it was. No, I'm going to pick Elton John, Step Into Christmas. I hate that song.
Why?
It's terrible. The production on it's awful. What exactly is stepping into Christmas, by the way? Is that a place that you go?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware. I didn't think you could step into a date on the calendar.
You literally step into Christmas.
Well, I think Elton was stepping into an 8-ball when he participated in.
That was in the 70s, right?
Yes.
So, yeah,
So for
he,
sure
was.
he was.
I think he was in an 8-ball. He was in a 16-ball.
He probably doesn't even remember doing that song, and even if he does, he'll probably say he doesn't remember because it sucks.
No, I'm sure he remembers because the checks came in and went to his drug dealer at the time. And let's spill out for Elton John. Done touring now. All done.
touring in North America.
Well, yeah. But he finished up in L.A. a couple of days ago. And
Did you go to that?
no, I was at Smashing Pumpkins and Jane's Addiction instead. I was at a much better show.
No, get out of here.
I think so. I'm not a huge Elton John fan. I'm sure it's Elton John puts on a,
How
puts
do
on
you
a
not?
great
You
show.
don't like? I get the Springsteen.
I don't dislike Elton John. I'm not a big Elton John fan.
I know what this is because you're from New York and you have to pledge allegiance to Billy Joel. That's what this is about.
No,
Yeah.
no,
That's what it is.
I'm
may
not a
be
huge
right,
Elton John
I may
fan.
be crazy.
Oh my God, fucking hate you.
How can
No.
you not be a big Elton John fan? I mean,
Exactly. I'm not a big Elton John fan. I'm not an Elton John fan. I'm just not a huge Elton John fan. Reg is back. Whatever the Reg's Revenge. What the hell? Reginald, whatever the hell his name is. I don't know.
John Byrne. I hate Billy Joel.
Yeah, and he's from Long Island.
Well, that's probably why he hates him, right?
Because we're all sick of him.
It's like
You
us
know?
with Bob Seger.
There you go.
But I like Bob Seger.
There you go. I don't hate Elton John. I don't hate that song. I actually like that song. I think it's a fun, campy Christmas tune.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Like, when it comes to Elton John, what do you think's better? Step Into Christmas or Candle in the Wind?
Ooh.
You're already taking too long to pick. It's obviously Candle in the Wind.
No, is it?
Yeah. What about Step Into Christmas versus I'm Still Standing?
Step Into Christmas by
No
far.
way. No
Oh,
way.
come on.
I don't even like I'm Still Standing, and it's better than Step Into
No,
Christmas.
no. Now this is where you're going off the rails, my friend. I honestly, I'm Still Standing is better than Step Into Christmas?
Absolutely.
No.
What about you people in the comments? What do you think?
Hopefully everybody agrees with me.
No way.
Now this is funny right here. This song sucks, aka the Kick Tracy Award. Yes. That's it. That is the name going forward. Thank you, John Byrne. I like that. That's good. I definitely dig that. And I'm sure Jeff Henderson will love it too. Even the Lion King song is better than Step Into Christmas. Neither wins. Okay. There you go. Because you can't say, ugh. And Patrick says he doesn't know it. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. It's been, trust me, when you were the last time you were in the grocery store buying pistachios during the holiday season.
Somewhere around November 29th. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on.
Yeah, guaranteed. Staring at Christmas, we get together.
Forever and ever. God,
Eat,
so
drink,
bad.
a berry, come on with me. Step into Christmas, the admission's free.
Yeah, the admission's free. I'd pay
I like
to
that song.
Not have to hear that song.
I like that song. I like it.
What about Bruce's version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town?
I like that too. Especially because he keeps laughing in the middle of it because I don't know who's going ho, ho, ho.
He's always laughing in the middle of shit.
Because he's stoned.
He might be.
He might be. All right, cool. Now we got that out of the way. I went with...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
See?
Our rendition, he knew it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yep. There you go. And yeah, I do like Kiss, but I also rag on them as much as I like them. And again, I like Kiss. I do not love Kiss. I like Kiss.
I love Kiss.
You love Kiss. I like Kiss. I am not a disciple where, if Gene farted, I would buy it.
Well, I'm not at that level.
Well, he would try to sell it, though. So
I heard, this would be a good way to wrap this up because you'll appreciate this. And most people that watch this show are music people. One of my reps visited me the other day, and he was saying when he worked for St. Louis Music, and they owned Ampeg. For those that don't know, they're a bass amp company, probably the ultimate bass amp company.
Yep.
The most well-known.
Yeah.
Gene did a signature Ampeg SVT head that was basically just a solid-state SVT packaged in a larger cabinet with his name on it. And he charged 14 times the amount of what the solid state regular version was. And they said, but why, that doesn't make any sense. And he said, no, it makes complete sense because it's my signature bass amp. And then he turned around and wanted them to sell his Punisher basses.
Oh my God.
And the deal was that the company didn't make any money and the stores that bought them didn't make any money. And they said, nobody's going to buy this. No stores are going to stock this because they don't make any money. And Gene said, yes, but the traffic that they will get in their stores from having my basses, you cannot put a value on that.
Yeah, you can. Sure you can. You are not the massive draw to bass players. It's not like when I think of bass players, Gene Simmons.
Yes.
There we go.
Well, he's great at that boom. He loves to do that one, the big bass slide. You hear it all over live.
Yeah, well, and it's probably done in the studio afterwards again.
Boom. And he's really good at playing up in the higher register.
Whatever. He's not good at much on bass.
I think he's a great bass player.
He's not.
For
oh my
Kiss,
God.
He's a great bass player. Yeah, I mean, that's what should he be doing?
Roger would be a great bass player in Kiss.
Should he be playing Jocko licks all over fucking Lick It Up? I don't think so.
No.
I'm not saying Gene should be like in Rush,
For a guy that toured with Rush as much as he did, he learned nothing.
Did it matter?
It should have.
I think he's just as successful, if not more.
Probably more. Probably more. But
So
that doesn't mean he's good. That doesn't mean he's good. Bruce Springsteen sells out everywhere. It doesn't mean he's good.
He's great.
Tom Petty, dead.
Great.
Grateful Dead
Also great.
sucked. They sold out lots of shows. People didn't even know what they were going to because they were so drug-addled.
They sold out football stadiums for multiple nights.
Yeah, because
you think Taylor Swift's selling some tickets. You should see
that's
Grateful
the only time the fucking locker room smelled worse than after a football game was when the Grateful Dead played. So there's that.
There is that.
All right. I'm moving. Now I'm angry. Fuck Elton John and Billy Joel.
What about when Elton John and Billy Joel toured together?
Actually, I wish I could have gone to that.
That was probably fantastic.
Yeah. I'm sure it was probably amazing. But anyway, I'm moving on. Can I do my song that sucks,
Yes,
please?
yeah, I'm sorry.
Fucking motherfucker, get me all angry at the end of the show. I gotta leave at 6:45 in the morning. I'm just cranky. Okay. So it's sort of a double down because this is also a cover, but it's terrible. And it should never have been done. But it's not surprising that this person did this cover, and it's terrible. Marilyn Manson did a cover of Highway to Hell for the Detroit Rock City soundtrack, and I could care less.
You could care less or you couldn't care less?
Could care less. If there's less, there's no more.
There you go.
I fucking hate it. It sucks. How about that? It sucks. Not nearly. No, wait. Let me think about this. Elton John doesn't suck compared to this song because this song sucks so bad.
Well, Elton doesn't suck at all.
He doesn't suck. But this song sucks. And it's just like, oh, I'm Marilyn Manson, so I better do Highway to Hell because that sounds like that would be right because I'm Marilyn Manson. Look at my horns.
Yeah, I remember that. It's pretty awful.
It's terrible. And there's a lot of other covers that are on that album that are actually pretty good. Like Drain STH does 20th Century Boy on that album, and they do a pretty good job of it. Cat Scratch Fever by Pantera is on that.
The
do a really good job
doing Strutter.
Yeah, the Donnas do Strutter. Yeah, I mean, it's a really great soundtrack of mainly covers. Except that, like, why? And the thing is, he did it like in his Manson-y modern way. And like this movie takes place in the late 70s. What are you doing?
You know what else is on that soundtrack? That outstanding Kiss song, Nothing Can Keep Me From You.
So there's reasons why that doesn't get played or discussed or known ever. Yeah.
But what's worse, the Marilyn Manson cover of Highway to Hell or the Tom Morello cover of Highway to Hell featuring Eddie Vedder and Bruce Springsteen?
I haven't heard that, and my head just hurts thinking about that combo. God. Wow. Why do we uncover this shit? Okay. That's everything, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I try to just kind of, I like to, it's like as the athletes say, I left it out on the field. Yeah. I left it all on the field. I put it all out there.
It's a good way to let it go.
Yeah, I agree. Let it go. From Frozen?
Sure.
Of course. Why not? And you know what?
Fuck you! What's happening, baby? Hey, man. What's happening, baby?
All right. Well, on.
It's not too good. What is Paul McCartney referring to?
I think Highway to Hell, the Manson version. But
Okay.
oh, you hear that music? You know what that means? It's time to leave. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We wish you all a very, very happy Thanksgiving. May it be filled with fully cooked turkey, not undercooked turkey, because that would be terrible. And make sure you all take your insulin before eating all the stuffing. Nick, what store do you own?
Rock City Music Company,
And where are you located?
Livonia, Michigan.
Where can we
5 Mile and
find you?
Farmington.
Where can we find you?
RockCityMusicCo.com.
And what are you selling all day on Friday?
Records and guitars
Yes, sir.
and amps and anything else, but mostly records because it's Record Store Day Black Friday.
And anything that doesn't sell on Friday goes on the web when?
Saturday at 8 a.m.
There you go. So if there's any leftovers, that's where you'll find them. But my guess is that there's going to be not much.
Not much, but whatever's left will be on the website, and we do ship all over the country. So
there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy. Oh, so stop it. No, really. No. All right. There we go. Yes. Okay. We're leaving now. Wait, there's other comments? Okay, great. Bye.
Bye-bye.